Happy Thursday, everybody. The college football playoffs are resuming today with Penn State taking on Notre Dame. So I have Penn State alum and fanatic, also the biggest hater because he's been beaten and emotionally bruised by them, is Chelly. And if you wonder why we're having Chelly back on the pod, it's because Chelly, last time we had you on, you said this would happen if Ohio State won the national championship. Play the clip.
Ohio State sucks. Will Howard is a bum. He needs to fire up the LinkedIn. He should have had the LinkedIn up yesterday.
Are you telling me that you will re-get that haircut if Ohio State wins the national championship?
Yes, absolutely. Dude, Ohio State is a first-round exit. They just lost to Michigan.
If Ohio State wins the national championship, Chelly will get the Edgar haircut.
Oh, really? What do I do with the shit I currently have?
You gotta get it cleaned up. You gotta get it cleaned up, make it better.
Oh, I remember that like it was yesterday. I don't know, dude. I personally didn't think Ohio State was going to come out guns blazing like they did in the playoffs, but I stand corrected. Obviously, you being on Texas for a lot of the coin, I'd definitely be shaky in my boots, but I do feel like if you get through Ohio State and I'm hopefully right, Texas is going to win it all. So I think the next game is your national championship. So that's the game you need to focus on.
This is the game. And also, if you want to see if Ohio State makes it all the way and Chelly re-get the Edgar haircut, make sure to subscribe because honestly, hopefully he does it on our pod. But no matter what, Chelly always follows through. But speaking of that, you're right, Chelly. I do have a lot on the Texas Longhorns to win the national championship. These tickets are so old at this point, Chelly. We had to take photocopies of them because they are fading. You are looking at a possible $100,000 payout, 9-1 odds for the Longhorns to win the national championship. That's true. That's true grit right there, dude. I remember everyone called me crazy, but I was going to take Penn State. I was going to take Penn State at the beginning of the season. Payout would be 1.8, I think, right now. And I got a little worried.
If you had done that, I probably would have stopped you. I would have flown to New Mexico and stopped you from doing any money that you already had on it. I'd stop you from doing any more for Penn State.
Oh, dude, if anyone's rooting against the Texas Longhorns right now, it's the Santa Ana local casino. They are rooting heavy against the Texas Longhorns right now.
They do Ohio State watch parties inside the casino and stuff, just entirely decked out Ohio State. That's actually so funny.
ASU, they were celebrating, and then I was in pain. I was in Vegas for that one. That was the longest game of my life. So let's just, if I can ask, are you worried about Penn State at all, taking on Notre Dame?
Am I worried about Penn State at all? Yeah, I'm worried about Penn State. I really think that this is our first big game where the spread's close and on this easy path to the final. I think we probably lose, and if I was a betting man, I'd fade the F out of us. I'm not gonna lie. I think Penn State would be a shit wager for anyone, including myself, which is why I have to do it.
You have been so beaten down by this team. You are always against them. You are always against them. You expect nothing out of them, and I think you're having that mentality oh, they're going to lose, they're going to lose. But then, if they make it to the Natty, you're going to be the biggest Penn State fan, and I know you are.
Oh, I'm the biggest Penn State fan no matter what happens. I'm just saying, if I'd come on the pod more recently, a week ago or so, I would have been talking about this Penn State team you would have thought I thought they were going to win it all.
Dude, this is probably the most stressful week of my life. After ASU, I was down so bad. I wasn't even happy after Texas beat ASU. I felt horrible. My emotions were high. Very concerning going into the hottest team of football, Ohio State, right now. They look kind of, unstoppable. This is going to come down. Do we have 2020 Quinn Ewers against Alabama? Can he show up? Can he become, the Quinn Ewers everyone knows he can be? I don't like his limp pass he's been throwing. I swear that thing hangs in the air for 15 seconds. We have to be all over Will Howard. They have to harass Will Howard. If they don't, he's going to Jeremiah Smith. They will pick us apart all game. So I am praying for Texas. I'm worried, dude. I think for sure they cover. Texas has kind of been getting hammered on these favorites for the college football playoffs. They're not going to give these lines too easy anymore. +6 against this team it's
+6 now.
Texas is +6. Money is being dumped on. But okay, here's the thing.
It's over. It's over.
No.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Money
I'm sorry.
money is getting dumped on Ohio State. All right, it's like 3-1 Ohio State. So Ohio State has like probably 68-70% of the money on it. I'm okay with that, dude. And also, there's one thing we're forgetting. They're just a bunch of kids, man. We're betting on a bunch of kids. Okay, there's pick sixes. There's nonsense at the end of the game. So we don't
Quinn
know what's
Ewers
going to
might
happen here. And I
Quinn
can't
Ewers
look at
might
the
be an
camera.
adult.
I can't look
Quinn
at you
Ewers
and
might
say,
be an
dude, they're
adult. Trust me. I'm sorry. I have to before you keep going. Like Quinn Ewers might be like 35. Like he's not a kid. Everybody else is the
hey,
kid,
man.
but Quinn Ewers, he's old.
If you have to sign up for fall semester and you're not over the age of 30, which they just ruled in football you can't play till, you're a kid. You're a kid. Okay, I think they just changed the age of adolescence in the United States to 27. He's a kid. All right, we're betting on a bunch of kids out here. Just give me some hope, Chelly. Give me some. You better have
Did you
hope
just
on
make
it
that
too.
up?
You can look it up. It was all over
Okay.
Twitter. They like changed the age of adolescence. Also, you better pray too, man. Your girlfriend is hanging in there with this Edgar haircut because she's like, oh, it'll grow back. But if you get it twice because of bad bets, it's a problem. It's a problem. So yeah, she's a little bit concerned, or she is, and you should be too. We're both the biggest Texas fans this week. Are we in?
I'm in. I'm so in.
Chelly, the season's over. To close out the season, you hit the best NFL six-legger I've ever seen. That was clean, dude. Week 18, you just put it up and you smacked. How was that?
It was a great feeling. Honestly, I got on the incentive train before everybody else, and then now when everyone hopped on it, it was pretty much over after that because that shit couldn't hit. But the Mike Evans stuff, that was electric. I'm not gonna lie, the fact that they like instead of kneeing threw Mike Evans the ball, I don't know. What is your opinion on that type of stuff, Preston? Like, do you think that's a phony record? Do you think he didn't deserve? Yeah, yeah, I can see you shaking your
Oh
head.
no, no, no. I don't think that's a phony record. I think the way he got it, last game, they're just tossing him the rock, which is completely fair. That's 7 seasons. That's 7 seasons of just being a dog. I think it's a well earned record. I think sure the final catch wasn't in double coverage to win the game, but I'll take it. I'll take it. But because he had 7 seasons just to get there, so give the kid an easy pass just to end it, walk it off. I wish he would have kept going. I wish he had one more catch, really been unsportsmanlike, because that's the Mike Evans way. That guy's always doing offensive PI. But listen, Chelly, the season's over. I know your Pickett calendar was just blood red. October, red. November, red.
Hey,
December,
why are we talking
red.
about October, November? Why? Why are we talking about
Because
October, November? That was so long ago.
because you started off the season glorious, man. This is your year. And
Yeah.
speaking of last year, who was the most wagered on player you had? I'm not saying that you shouldn't
Oh,
know this on top of your head, but just think about it. Who is the man that you wagered the most money on this year for the NFL?
oh, for the NFL. Oh my God, I was gonna tell you the person I've wagered the most money on in general. It's Hydra. He's a Call of Duty player. Yeah, I have a problem, brother. But no, I have a problem. He's pressing me out. I quit.
You look
Most,
like you're doing great, dude.
yeah, no, I'm great, guys. I'm in the
Dude,
Bahamas.
you
I can
could.
totally afford a flight home.
Well, so show the background because you say you're in the Bahamas. You look like you're a little homeless right now. There it is. See, that's what happens when you hit. That's what happens when you hit your week 18 last ditch parlay right there. That is gorgeous sight. But dude,
Oh yeah, dude.
all right, so
Oh
you,
yeah.
you most wagered player in Call of Duty was Hydra. What's your most wagered play? What's your most wagered player in the NFL this year?
It's got honestly, dude. It might be Mike Evans just because I keep. Oh, Malik Neighbors. Malik Neighbors for
Mm,
sure. I love
wow.
betting on Malik Neighbors. What a dog. That guy's a dog.
So you're upset that you're losing money at the NFL and the most wagered player you have is on the New York Giants?
What is your trip to the Bahamas, Preston?
Dude, don't. It's about to be. I will meet you guys in the Bahamas when Texas is holding the national championship trophy on
Mm-mm.
January 20th. I will meet you guys
You're
down
not
there.
going to the Bahamas. You're going to like the Galapagos or something. There's got to be an upgrade.
What
There's got to be an
what's
upgrade.
nicer? Yeah. Dude, I'm going to
I don't know.
Reno. I'm going to Reno. I can't go to Vegas even because if I go there, I'm just gonna throw it all in black. And it sounds like you and Trent are out there right now. You're losing a lot of money. Is that correct?
Honestly, yeah, we hit up a nice little parlay to get some back last night. But okay, so Trent last night, dude, he went up like $3,000 and then donated it all back on like craps and blackjack and all the casino games, and like didn't even go down money. He just went back to even, and he was so mad for the rest of the night. He like stormed off and like didn't want anyone to talk to anyone. He was also drunk, but like it's still. We're like, you're not even down money. You just lost everything you wanted.
The man did a walk-off crap 7. He just hit a 7 and walked it off the table. Didn't even stay and see what was going to go on the next roll. That's tough, dude.
Nah,
I have been
you know
there.
what? You know what he actually did? He played the field, which is like two,
Oh,
three,
yeah, yeah.
four, 9, yeah. And he put 500 on the field, and did someone roll a 70? Or
No.
no, not a 7, because that would have paid, right? Or no,
No.
no.
That's just a double loser. Yeah, that's tough. And he didn't even bet the line. That's thoughts and prayers to Trent. Speaking of Trent, I have a plan. I have a plan for us to make sure, give Texas every single advantage they can have in this Ohio State game because they're going to need it. Can you please tell us who Trent is on for that game?
Ohio State.
Trent's on Ohio State?
1,000%.
Oh,
1,000%.
congratulations, Texas. You guys are going to the national championship. He's kind of been on a heater, though, but it sounds like last night he went down to the casino and now he's on his cold streak again. Can we confirm?
It honestly depends what time the game is, because if it's like anytime not considered prime time, it's not hitting. But if it's prime time, like 8:30 Eastern,
Yeah.
that whatever you place in smack. He had the Lions the other night against the Vikings for 5K. That shit hit.
Okay.
Like he's the prime. Like actually, I've learned prime time for whatever reason. It's been super square this year. He's just betting because he thinks it looks good. I don't know, whatever. But
Well, our game's a
sincerely don't.
primetime game. It's like it's the only game on that day. So what can we do to make sure Trent is the curse that he is for Texas Ohio State? Because I'm
He's gonna time.
genuinely willing. I will Venmo him. I will give him a Texas ticket after the national championship. I will give him one of my tickets, $1,000. I will give Trent $1,000 to bet on Ohio State just to make sure he's not on Texas. But what time do we need him to make that bet so we have the Trent curse, the Trent magic that makes teams lose, and they don't know how? I need that Trent.
I fear that a 7:30 start time is a little bit prime timey, and there's a new nickname for Trent called PTT.
Primetime Trent. What are the chances we keep him off the money line and the cover, and we just have him go for player props?
He's gonna have action on that. So he's still, at least if I don't fly back, he's still gonna be in the Bahamas for that game. So he's gonna be at the
Okay.
sportsbook absolutely nuking. So
Yeah.
that's just a Preston Lopez schedule FaceTime call like 5 minutes before,
Okay.
and see if you can work some
Yeah.
magic.
All right. Well, tell him I'm willing to give him $1,000 to wager on Ohio State. Will you give him the message?
Really, he's gonna take that off because he was already gonna do that.
Yeah.
So you don't
Yeah.
need
Yeah.
to. You
No, I
don't need
want to
to
make
give him
sure
money.
though. I want Texas to know how much I'm riding with them.
I
I
see.
want them to know.
See.
I'm all in. I'm all in. I'm not. No, we're done with this. But all right. So Malik Neighbors is your most wager on. What's the one player that anytime you bet him, you're losing money? Like anytime you bet this player, he's opposite of whatever you did.
I feel like Baker Mayfield. It doesn't matter what I pick for Baker Mayfield, if it's passing yards or rushing yards. He just actually hates coin. And it's you could even take his less, and then he has a 500 game and looks like Brady. Or you can take his more in rushing yards, and then all of a sudden they're counting rushing yards like college football, and he gets sacked and now has negative 20 rushing. I don't really understand how they get away with. I don't
Shocking,
understand how they get away with it. But I don't.
dude. Baker had like a record year too. How did you lose all your money on
It's
Baker?
honestly quite impressive. I'm really happy for Baker. I'm really happy that they snuck into the playoffs somehow, and I get to keep betting on him in the playoffs because that's super exciting for me. Really limiting my options to just Baker at that point. But yeah, no, I swear to God, like one time he got sacked and they put it as minus 20 rush yards, and I'll never do it. I'll never bet on it.
This is a new year, a new Chelly, kind of. Your Pikkit calendar, your Pikkit goals of the year. We don't want to recap this December, and you said, oh, I could have bought 16 mansions in
17.
New York
17.
for all 17.
17.
17. You
Okay, I
don't.
didn't
What is
care.
that place that? Where does
Oh,
Portnoy
it's
vacation?
Montauk.
To New Jersey. What?
The
The Hamptons.
Hamptons. Oh,
I don't want you getting to December. I don't want you getting to December and your Pikkit calendar or your Pikkit app is like if you would have won all your bets, you would be in the Hamptons right now. 17 mansions, 16 cars. We're not doing that this year, Chelly. We're gonna do everything correctly. And what are your goals for this year going in? Your
Um,
calendars, your
yeah.
bets, pulling back unit sizes. What are we doing? How are we getting there?
I think we're gonna up the units drastically. I think we're gonna up the units drastically. You'll maybe make this a little more high stakes. Get involved early and often, as Trent likes to say. He's been saying it to me. It's been kind of annoying me. Full court press all January. While they do dry January, we do wet January. You know, when they go left, we go right. So I just feel like the idea is to come to the Bahamas, you know, then take that coin and then get that green carpet going on Pickett. You know, I mean, just you want to stack green days. That's the key on the Pickett calendar, right? You sync up your book and you stack the green days. You stack it. You want to get on that little roll there, all right? When everyone's going left, you go right.
Dude, I'm tailing you to the bitter end this year, and I'm already we're already in for Texas. You have your haircut on the line, and your relationship almost. I have my net worth, so that's how you start the year, and we're putting that into the Pickett calendar once it cashes, just so we can really start hot for this year. I hope they make a leaderboard, and I want to be on the top with you. That's what I see. But I have to ask, you were at Penn State, and I'm wording this in my own
Yeah.
words. You're at Penn State. You're a bright-eyed kid. The whole world's in front of you. Doctor, lawyer, astronaut, even for you, Chelly, because you just have that dog in you. How do you end up in the Bahamas with Trent, with some Beats headphones, possibly homeless at the moment, and your haircut relationship on Penn State to win the game, and you're probably going to go to the casino on a Tuesday night? How do you get into this industry, and how does this happen? How does your life take this turn?
The honest answer is a lot of luck and also following your passion. But I just think that no matter what you're doing, just as long as you're pursuing something that you love, you always find a way to make it work. I wasn't doing something that I loved after college, so I found time for something that I did love. And with a little bit of luck, a little bit of elbow grease, you get to where you can be. And I don't think we're anywhere near where we want to be because we're shooting for the stars, aiming for the moon, right? Or what is it? Shoot for the stars, you'll land on the moon or something like that.
If you shoot for the moon, you land on the sun.
Yeah, I don't want to. I don't like that saying as much now that I think about it because I don't want to like burn.
No, it's you shoot for the moon, you land on the stars. Mine is I shoot for the moon and I usually hit the sun.
Oh, okay. Well,
So
that
yeah,
is not the message I'm trying to send. But what you said was horrifying. Actually, I'm gonna think
well,
about that now.
when you're in college, and you're hating what you do, you're kind of having those moments of like, what am I doing with my life? Like, and you have no idea where to even start because that's the biggest problem people have is like, how do I get in this industry? Where do I begin? Because nobody has the answer. Where was like your moment where you were like, I can't do this. I can't like, I don't want to go and just get a 9 to 5. But there really, because when you started, there really wasn't, Trent was the first to do it. There really wasn't like, oh, I'll just go be online personality sports gambler or like, you know what I mean? So like, what were those steps where you're like, all right, I'm just gonna try this, and then it led to
Yeah.
one thing led to the other, and then you got here.
I think that getting your foot in the door, whether that's like collaborating with people on Twitter or like just trying to really reach out. When I first started like putting my bets on Twitter for like 500 people, I would spend every single night replying to every single DM. And as I got more and more traction on Twitter and Instagram, I would just literally go through every single DM and reply to every single person because at the end of the day, those are the people that are helping you grow and that's your community and you want to foster it and you want to show that you really like you're a person, bro. You're not like unless you want to be a handicapper who, gets paid from people to give out picks and you don't really want a relationship with them, that's fine. Those are clients. But if you actually want to grow with a community and foster like a healthy environment, which I think everybody wants when they're betting, you don't want a toxic environment. That's horrible. You lose money, people hate you, there's mean things. Like you just don't want that. Um, yeah, I mean, get your foot in the door, collaborate, reach. I read all of my DMs, like DM people. Like there are lots of people you can DM. I don't know. I just don't be afraid to shoot your shot. I think it's the biggest thing.
That's what I did. I literally texted her, said, "Hey, Jelly, I would love to get you on the podcast. Ask if you'd like to wager your haircut again. Just all the fun stuff. Also, I'm just gonna throw this in. The way me and Chelly met was through Trent's TikTok lives. So if Trent goes live, it's a great opportunity. Hop in. If you have a winner, Trent will hear you out. So go follow Pikkit Sports on Twitch. I'm telling you, it's winners, losers, and honestly the funniest gambling community online. Chelly's a huge part of it, and it's a blast. So that's another way to get in this industry. I'm telling you, that's how I did. But Chelly, one more question for you. What is your concerns with the Eagles this playoff?
I honestly think Jalen Hurts is not a good quarterback. Like, if you want my legit, honest opinion, I think Jalen Hurts. You know the Lamar allegations where they called him like a running back and he couldn't throw? I think that's Jalen Hurts,
Yeah.
and they just confused Lamar and Jalen Hurts because Jalen Hurts can't throw the ball more than 20 yards, and when he does, it's usually picked. I'm being dead serious. Like, he's
Wow.
horrible. I'm out on Jalen Hurts. I know a lot of Eagles fans, delusional as they are just never Jalen Hurts for them, and I think that they are the most delusional fan base out there. I'm talking to you, Eagles fans.
Wow.
Yeah.
Turning your back on your quarterback right in the playoffs and after you've won a championship kind of with him. That is the Philly special. That's the actual Philly special right there. We want next up. We want someone who's even more dominant. Wow. Well, there you go. You have Chelly's opinion on Penn State. You have this opinion on the Philadelphia Eagles. You have his origin story, which is touching. And you also have his promise that he will be getting the Edgar haircut if Ohio State makes it, like he said at the beginning of the playoffs. Chelly, we now have to craft a winner because there's a lot of money to be made in this wild card weekend of the NFL. I know you have your picks. We might have doubled up. We did not check them before. I'm going to let you go first. 10 seconds of why you are going to take this pick. This is the wild card weekend best 8-leg parlay to turn your $100 into $10,000 this weekend. The moonshot. Here it is. Chelly, take it away.
Absolutely, Preston. All right, so we are starting with the Chargers. I'm fading the Texans here. You can take Chargers. I don't know what that number's at now. We could just do ML. But actually, Preston, what is that line? Sorry, I don't.
I have them at 2.5. Could be 3.
Okay, let's just take Chargers minus 2.5 in LA. I'm out on CJ Stroud. And I'm all the way in on Herbert. Also, I heard that CJ Stroud's dog is currently at the vet. Not sure if that has anything to do.
Scary
Scary
situation.
situation, like super, like not funny, nothing to joke around about. But I do hear that he's getting better, so he might be kind of just unlocked on that whole situation. So, yeah. Also, I think it hailed yesterday.
The worried about the dog bet.
It's snowing in Texas also. Now that I just remembered, it's snowing in Texas on Thursday.
That's a good point. That's a great point. They're going to be really cold in that in the dome, in the NRG dome. Yeah, so this is more of a weather bet. Yeah, we're taking the Chargers -3 because the weather is bad in Houston, and apparently Houston doesn't play good in the cold. To move to the next pick, I have the over on the Steelers and Ravens game. This is simple. The Ravens score a bunch, and they also turn it over a bunch. Russell Wilson's going to capitalize. Chris Boswell's going to knock him through the uprights. They're going over. It's a huge rivalry. It's going to be a stale game. No, it's a huge rivalry. It's going to be a lot of points. That's what I say.
I am going Penn State money line. We really need Penn State to come through here. And as much as I think that this is 100% a big game and a big test for James Franklin, and he usually fails tests like I did in high school, I'm still going money line because my haircut's on the line.
Chelly's hair is on the line. Give me Penn State money line. We are also now going to the Green Bay Packers versus the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm sitting with a Philly fan, as you can tell, and I don't really have a lot of faith. I don't think either of these teams are good. We're going to hit the over because Jalen Hurts can't throw the ball over 20 yards. They have Saquon. They're going to run it. These teams are going to battle. Give me the over. Who do you got,
Well,
Chelly?
you know, we have to stay with college football and take Texas +6 because we're riding with you, Preston. We are going to put that. I forget.
This one's simple.
Yeah, this one, you don't overthink it.
We're taking Texas because Trent's taking Ohio State.
That's literally the solid job. And if you don't like it, then you unfortunately are probably already down there.
Yep. Oh yeah, no. Trent's streak comes to an end this week. We're gonna go to the Denver Broncos versus the Buffalo Bills. Bo Nix looks amazing right now, but he cost me a lot of money because he didn't throw the ball one more time the whole fourth quarter. I have a vendetta against him. I think the Bills roll. I think the Bills clear the over just by themselves. But of course, Bo Nix is going to throw, and I guarantee he gets a few touchdowns in there. So give me the over in the Bills Denver game, 47 and a half.
No,
Chelly,
you're liking points.
give us a
You're
winner.
liking points. You're liking points.
Loving the points. Loving the
Well,
points.
honestly, let's stay in theme. I also like points in the Commanders Buccaneers game. Shout out Baker. Anytime I bet on him, it usually goes pretty well, as I mentioned. So, give me the over. There's injuries on both sides, so defensively, and I feel like the Commanders are coming off a pretty rough offensive showing against the Cowboys. So, we just saw what the Buccaneers got. Spencer Rattler just threw for like 300 against that Bucs secondary. I think Jaden Daniels can put up the points and Baker can keep up with him. Give me the over there.
Over. We're taking the over in the Buccaneers Commanders game because if I heard you right, Chelly, they just score a lot. Was that your reason?
Yeah, enough.
They score enough, and it's going to go over. And then so I'm writing this down. We are taking the over in the Texans game because of inclement weather, but you do understand it's indoors.
I said Chargers.
Or the Texans Chargers. You do understand it's indoors. We're taking the Chargers.
Yeah,
but due to inclement.
Yes, if it wasn't snowing, we wouldn't be betting on the Chargers. But the Texans don't like the cold, and it's going to be really hard for the Texans to get to the stadium because there's not enough infrastructure in the city of Houston, I think, for them to be able to prepare for such a snowstorm. So once that snowstorm rolls in, they're going to get about, I think, 4.5 to 4.7 inclement inches of snow. And that means that they're not going to be able to get to the stadium on time. So I just think that also, like, the stadium could have a little bit of frost on the ground as well. So they might slip, and I think CJ Stroud slips. And I think he's not focused. He's focused on his dog.
If that's the ultimate sell job right there. There's 4 to 7 inches of inclement snow. That's why we're taking the Chargers. My final pick, Chelly, to round this off, to take this moonshot. We're landing on the moon. This is full Neil Armstrong right here. You understand? We are going to Monday night. It's going to be that much of a sweat. So you have the chance to cash out. I'm never cashing out. We're going to the Vikings-Rams games. Oh, you think it's over? No. It's Vikings. Everybody's tweeting about J.J. McCarthy. He looks like a body double. I don't know what that dude was. I know he's not going to play this game, but just because of that flow, we're betting the Vikings. J.J. McCarthy's flow is amazing right now. He's giving the team good vibes. He's going to come in next year. He's going to kill it. J.J. McCarthy's flow equals a win in L.A.
Honestly,
what do you think?
I've never been more confident in something that's supposedly a moonshot.
You're Buzz Aldrin. I'm Neil Armstrong. We're going to the moon. You understand?
Wow, the shoot for the stars, land on the sun parlay.
The shoot for the stars. You're going to land on the sun parlay. I'm going to send you the parlay. You got to place it, and then you have to post it on your Pikkit. And I'm going to post mine on my Pikkit. I'm placing. What are you placing on it?
I'm thinking 500.
I'm going to be putting 100 on it. I will be posting it on my Pikkit. Make sure to follow me and Chelly this weekend because the moonshot is going nowhere all season. And I promise you, we might have whole red calendars, but when it hits, the whole month is green. I'm telling you, it's a beautiful sight. I've done it and I've seen it before. Chelly, thank you so much for coming on this Thursday. We will have you on again, hopefully celebrating because Texas is in the national championship. And not because we're cutting your hair, because Ohio State made it. There's a lot riding on this game. I got the tickets that I'm not letting out of my sight. Oh, man, we're so close. We are so close,
Do you
Chelly.
have those on you at all
honestly,
times? I feel like you've always, like,
oh, yeah, I got to stay
you're
strapped.
strapped, bro. Like, I feel like you're
I have
walking
to.
around.
I have a little bag.
Okay.
All right, well, go follow me and Chelly on Pikkit. We will be posting the moonshot, shoot for the moon, land on the sun parlay. It's going to hit this weekend. Make sure to subscribe below and go download Pikkit Sports for the best app of all time. If you want to do line shopping, if you want to just communicate with your friends and make sure they're actually taking their bets, and any single book, it will show you the promos you got that weekend. What a better app. There's no better app. Okay, plus me and Chelly are on there giving the best picks ever. So go follow. And Chelly, anything else to close us
I
out?
just want to say this is not a big game for Penn State, so that's why we're going to win the game. If it was a big game, an important game, we'd lose. But since it's not a big game, James Franklin doesn't lose non-big games. It's a non-big game. We win.
The final call on Friday. The national championship is set. Texas taking on Penn State. We'll see you next week. Make sure to subscribe.